And I don't even posek it, the covenant Hashem wants is when the spirit of the person is broken. Then it also says, Hina Yadua is known, Ki Oila Bo Al Hidur HaLev. The covenant Oila comes for the Aveda of Hidur HaLev. The person thinks bad thoughts. Because of Ha'oila Al Ruchachem, so the evidence is that the Oila comes for the Ruach, the Hidur. Hainu She Oila Bo Al Hidhudei HaLev. The Oila comes for the thoughts of the heart. Plans that a person has in his heart to the bed. Sheshon Mishkan HaRuach, and the Lev is the place where the Ruach rests. The Inish in his bottom tzaddik machshava l'maisa ba mehir hurei akum. Hashem doesn't combine bad thoughts to bad deeds, except in the case of Hidhudim Avodah Zarah. The Hidhud Akum Shayach Eitzel Kol Adam. This is not a thing that is so strange. The Hidhud Akum is Shayach by every single person. Hainu Mashem Maschil is spalal b'dveikus. When a person begins to spalal with kavana, with attaching himself to Hashem, I'm this by this aspect. Obi Emtzad Tzilah, he has by this Neighbor Madrigosai, the middle of Tzilah is by that he falls in Madriga, Zeo Bechina Sidhuri Akum. This is Bechina Avedhuri Akum, Avodah Zarah. He called her Nefila his boy Machmas Kilko HaEmuna, because every Nefila comes because of the Emuna being spoiled. Ukshinas Kalko HaEmuna Nimtza Machsid Pona Meshach his Borach. When the Emuna is spoiled, that means that he's turning his face away from Hashem. They turn their back. Hashem is Borach Gamke Masti Pona Menu. And Hashem also Kaviyachol turns his face away. And so, Ochai Biyachai. That means that they are now Kaviyachol back to back. He has to bring from an Eilah for this to bring them upon him upon. The Bechina of Eilah is when he breaks the spirit within him. He's embarrassed, and he thinks to himself, how did I fall? And I was thrown for such a great height from heaven to the earth. Even walking away because I was such a high place before the action of faulty, the no, I fell and I turned my face away from Hashem, and he remained now back to back. He has pity on himself. There is no bigger pity than a person like this. We came This requires Nesida, that means tearing apart the two, the combination of as we torn apart, to turn them around, to make them opponent. Like all the Rishon, they were created, two partzufim, two faces, two bodies. They were attached, back to back. Inside, and they were torn apart. The hoya ponim, and they were placed face to face. And the sido, b'china shem chatach. And the sido, this cutting apart, is the b'china, the shem hakadosh. Ches tov chov. Like it says in the Priyas Chaim Pasech, es Yedecha, Seveteva Chatach. Seveteva, these three words is Shem Kodesh. He cuts and tears himself apart. Hashem Chatach Nasa, Ayadei, Shem Shabbat Esli, but this Shem Kodesh is done through the fact that he breaks his heart. He breaks the spirit of his heart. When he breaks his heart, it means the evil in his heart, surely he sighs, he lets out the air, he takes inside air, that's sighing. These are the two ruchos. These two ruchos of the Yitzhak, the ruchos, twice ruch, and Begematria, Ches Tavchav, 428. Ruach is 214, and the Shem HaKadosh is 420. There's two ruchos of Machnes and Meitzi. There's El Bechinas Nesida. There's the Bechina of cutting apart in half. Bo El Bechinas Ponim upon him. Because the Bechina Ponim upon him, they're face to face. There's El Bechinas Eilah. This is the Bechina of the common Eilah. There's El Zivchei Elikim. Haina Bechinas Eilah. Zivchei the common of Hashem. The common for Hashem, which is the Bechina of Eilah. Ruach Nishbora Kanal. That's a broken Ruach. That means that he breaks his heart, the spirit in his heart, and he sighs, and he's Meitzi Amachnes Ruach. The Mela that causes the Nesina, the cutting him more from Ocha Bi Ocha to the Shem Chatach, and it brings about upon him. Rav Nachman says, Mi Simen Ayin Gimel Kisavet Ad Kan for Simen Ayin Gimel Kisavet until here, until the end of Tedek of Ches, Loshen HaChavedim. It's the Loshen of the Chavedim. Gam yesh bohem kama devorim kitanim shenemru kedem Yisrael. There are also a few small titles that was said before Rabbi Arizal Nesiya Teirat Yisrael. The Alpi Hadayv, mainly, in most cases, Havoshin Einim Misukin Klal. The Lashon is not perfect. Ad Shevik Kama Mekayma is Koshe Lamed Al Mechuvim. Many places it's hard to understand the Kavanah. But the whole Mokayim Shemotza Yodi L'Saki Rabbi was able to correct. Tikantik Tzas, I perfected it all. The Ashari Nachte Kamei the rest I let remain the way it is. Lashon, because the Lashon, the language that Echshu, no matter how it is, Yitzim Behim Al Kaponim, at least you get from there, Divrei Musa Habe. It's a lot of words of Musa in these, the Shonis have these titles. The Agdomis, the Flois, the Eitzis, the Neirois, the Marvelous Eitzis, the Iskaret, Elam Yisbarach, and then they come close, the Iskaret Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Put them in on Tedekuf test. And then Rabbi the posek in Kelos Yesh Hevel Ashenasa Al Horetz Asher Yesh Tzadikim Shemagir Aleim K'Meiser Yeshuin. There's a Hevel, breath of air, which reaches Tzadikim, and Meiser Yeshuin gets to them. The opposite too. There's a Hevel that gets to the Shum, and they get to Meiser Tzadikim. Kedish Hevel, shot in the word Hevel is Haino Hevel Peh Hayetze Mehagorin Megenuchi Dekagonach. The Hevel Peh, the air that comes out of a person's mouth, the throat, when he lets out a sigh. Call Echad Lefi Eka, each one according to his Madrega. Tzadikim Yel, Tzadikim go on this, and the Shoyim become the Shol. Yesh Losha Kol Yomo, the person who all his life is a Losha. Umisaneach Beno Al Ha'ova, and he sighs and moans about the past. Yesh Chas V'Shon Tzadik Mei Kodai. And the Tzadik, originally, he was a Tzadik all his life, but Tehei already Shonis, and he regrets the first mitzvahs he did. The No Misach Gamkein, and he moans and sighs too about the mitzvahs he did. Hina Yesh Shnei Chavolim, there are two Chavolim, two ropes, which attach a person to whoever the Mokkah. Chevel de Kedusha, there's a Chevel, a rope of Kedusha, attaches a person to Kedusha, the Kenegdai de Tumah. Corresponding to it, opposite, you have the Chevel of Tumah. You have the Chida Chapshis, the choice for each person is free. It's free to choose whichever one he wishes. Misha Mekadesh Atzmai, whoever purifies and makes himself holy, Mekashir Atzmai B'Chevel of Kedusha. He binds himself to this Chevel of Kedusha. Ulhepechas Shalom, Misha Metame Atzmai Mekashir Atzmai B'Chevel of Tumah. First of Natalia himself, he binds himself as a shalom to the Chevel of Tumah. The Hine Hano, the Ha'anocho, Bechinas Misa Beguf Nefesh. The moaning and sighing is a Bechina of death, both bodily and spiritually. The Guf, bodily we see physically, K'meshem Azal, the Gemara says, Anocho Shevedes Guf Eshlodem. When a person sighs, so he wants to Shevedes Chatzi Guf Eshlodem, Shevedes Chol Guf Eshlodem, that a sigh can actually break a person down. The nefesh kamkein, and soul also, the spirit also, it breaks down the nefesh. Yedu mashikoso teisei frucho migvon. They draw this ruach, this air, yigvon, and they pass away. Kaidem mehamisa, before a person dies, miteisa frucham, they take a deep breath, yazai yigvon. Then they let out the breath, and that's the stillness of the neshama. K'meikein, hano v'ha'anacha, didactically, if you study carefully this union of sighing, Anocha, Echin and Sheches El Hagorain, when the Anocha, the sigh, is drawn into the throat, he's increasing the Ruach. He would feel sure, Kalani Teisef Ruchai. For a short period of time, for a moment, the Ruach within him is becoming increased. The Kimat Rega, Tigva V'Teyosek. Another short moment, so it goes out, and it's lost. The person sighs about the avedas that he has. He wants to do tshuva. That he's as though he dies away from this evil that's within him. That the ruach has added, and then there's his stalkus. And then becomes attached to the chevel of kedusha. The opposite too. He sighs about Kedusha, and Chazal is torn away from there, and he becomes attached to the tumah. We should know, if he sighs about the good that he has, What's attached to the Tumah? As the Nig Bavly Aflucha the Kedusha, and there's a stalkus of the Ruach of Kedusha. The Nidbak Ela Tumah become attached to Tumah Chazashon. There, this Pshat Yesh Hevel. There is this Hevel. Haino a Hevel Peh. They have no the Ha'anocha. Shehu no Misanech. It's held by the account because he sighs. Yesh Tzadikim Shetayhin Ala the Rishonis. There's Tzadikim who are sorry about the Rishonis. Tayhin Lashon no also. He sighs about it. You'd say Hevel Pihem the Ha'anocha. The Hevel goes out of their mouth because of the sigh. Ugagia Alei Kemasei the Shoim. Mela, if they now reach Madrega, it comes to them the deeds of the Rishonim. The Madrega of the Rishonim. Kilim Bokim Ela Sitra Achabiatum, because they now become attached to Strachan Tumah. Yesh Rishonim Shenoihim is on the Anchim. There is a Rishonim also who let out of the Nacha, on the Hevel, Sheyetzi Pihem, the Hevel goes out of their mouths, Magia Aleim Kemasei Dikim. They become Madrega of the Tzadikim. Kilim Sokim the Tumah, they become cut off from the Tumah, the Hevel of Tumah, and then Bokim Ela Kedusha, they become attached to Kedusha. These two are extreme opposites. A person must have his chiyus to draw his life from one of these two chavolim, one of these two ropes. Take it. The moment he becomes cut off from one chavel, the chavel shaken and becomes immediately attached to the other chavel. Okay, therefore, it's good to become accustomed. Accustom himself to sigh about his deeds that are not good, and to crave and to desire with a strong sigh to return to Hashem. Because to this anacha, he becomes cut off from the chevel of tumah, and his kasha b'chevel of kedusha kanal becomes bound to the chevel of kedusha. About this, about this, where it is explained about the greatness, the Maila, the precious Maila of the Anocha of Kedusha. In the Vayesham, it is explained there, Sheha'anocha, Shema'aneach Ha'odam Alavanesa, Oyalmiyat Hasagosoi, this side that a person sighs about his Avainus, so because he has a very small Hasavah, he achieves very little in Kedusha. It's much better than a lot of self-inflicted torture or fasting. Because tinus breaks only the body. The person fasts, he breaks down his body. With his sigh, he breaks the whole body. He also changes his nefesh and his life from bad to good. Because the hevel that comes out of a person's throat, that's the hevel, that's the rope that binds the neshama to its place of origin. The toiv or the chazashon binds it either to good or the opposite chazashon. When he sighs, he increases the ruach, and then there is the stalkus. Then he becomes cut off from the first chevel he was bound to, and his kasher lechevel achak ketihon nocha. He becomes bound to the new chevel according to nocha. If he sighs about the good, he becomes bound to the bad, to the tumah. If he sighs about the avedis and tumah, he gets cut off from the avedis and tumah. He becomes his kasher completely to the chevel of kedusha. Kanal. Baruch Hashem. Menachem Mendel Schneerson says, Torah hi ruchnis. The Torah itself is ruchnis, spiritual. Whoever's meisim are clear and righteous, or sichlai ruchni, and his sechel is ruchni is completely. He doesn't tamp in the sechel, doesn't spoil it with gashmius. Yochal lispais kol atayra kula v'yishkach dava. So he can take in, absorb, and hold the entire Torah, not to forget anything. Kidova ruchni, and it takes motin, because the thing that is spiritual does not take up any space. The Torah can become spread out and to rest in his seichel. But the one who makes gashmius out of the words of Torah, he makes something actual out of it, gashmius. Then it has a limit, it has an amount to it. How much he can hold in his seichel, no more. If he wants to achieve more, then really has to push out that which is already in his seichel. If they're not called David Gashmias, can they feel anything as Gashmias? If it's already filled in Yamal Enu Yosef, he has to fill it more. Yidchem Mashoya Boy Kvat. He has to push out that which is in it first. And this comes Shikha. Forget what he already knew. Arizal, this pshat in the posek, the Yomush Sefer HaTorah, the Yomush Sefer HaTorah, Yomush Melashma Moshus, Kamesh Kosov, Yomesh Choshech. The darkness is so solid they can actually feel it. Come in. The Yomush Zohar, you should be careful. There should be no mamoshis and gashmias in the words of Torah. Because of your mouth, it means that what comes from you, the gashmias, the way that you say it, that you make gashmias and mamoshis out of it. You have to be very careful with this. But Arizal, she is honored Rav Yosef Mem Yem. She is kindly mudai. Rav Yosef fasted 40 days. But this limud, the Torah should remain with him. He should remember it. So they show him the posek from heaven. The Shuv his son and Ben Yaim. Achfolei Pizaracha. Shuv his son and Yaim and the Ad Ayom they said. They showed him that they should not make gashmias out of it. The words that come from your mouth. Then he'll be zecher that the limud should remain with him. Because no shekel won't to get anything. Because the Dabaruch doesn't take up any place. As much as he takes inside, doesn't require any space, and he can hold everything. The Dike, studying this carefully, see how deep and true it is. Baruch Hashem. Likutey Moharan Kuf Yud Aleph. Arizal says, Reish B'nai Yisrael, Rashi Tevis Rebbe. The word Reish B'nai Yisrael, or Rashi Tevis Rebbe, which means Rebbe of Kedusha is Reish B'nai Yisrael. The opposite, you have the Rabbi of Esau, you have the Rabbanim of Tumah, the Shoyim B'Cheshech Yidmu, Rashi Tevis Rebbe. It's a Rebbe also among the Shoyim. The Shoyim B'Cheshech Yidmu, we see before there's also Rashi Tevis Rebbe. Tikuney Zohar says that his father, the Aharon, once told him that the pshat here is why Dafka these two psukim are brought by Rabbi Arizal, because the Rebbe of Kedusha, so the posek of Chacham, Einav Bereishay. The Chacham, his eyes are in his head. It means that the Oid ha'einayin, the light of the eyes, come from the head. It's Kedusha. Why? Because the oil means that he is meir eidei hachamim. He gives light to the eyes of others, a good Rebbe. Lahepach, you have by the Rishonim, so you have the Rishonim b'cheshech yidmu. It's the opposite of oil. A Rebbe of the Rishonim, a Rebbe who is a Rosh himself, doesn't give light to his Talmidim. On the contrary, the cheshech, he gives darkness. He hides the oil of kedusha. And so then I brought these two psukim to show, these two Lashonis to show the opposite. That Rebbe B'Kedusha is Meir, Einayin, he gives light. Rebbe of Tumah is maybe Yudei Cheshach. The Sefer HaKoneh he brings also another posek, Zabi Einei Hashem, is a Shetevus Rebbe. Also the Shem HaCheshach Yitmo, Zabi Einei Hashem. Aruch Zohar himself says that according to the Zohar Kodesh, we said that the Zohar Kodesh says the Shem HaCheshach Yitmo. One of the reasons I bring this posek because the Zohar Kodesh says Shem HaCheshach Yitmo is the Eid of Rav. The Eid of Rav, when they become leaders, it says Shem HaCheshach Yitmo. Because the Hoyu Tzoreha L'Rosh, there's an union of Rosh by the opposite of Rosh B'nai Yisrael. You have Tzoreha, the Seinim become Rosh. The Seinim become Rosh is the Shem HaCheshach Yitmo. But when they are the Stalik, then there's no more Hoyu Tzoreha L'Rosh, but then the Stalik is the Shem, so you have the true Rosh B'nai Yisrael, and you have the Hepech Su'u'es Rosh B'nai Yisrael. There's an Aliyah for the Rosh B'nai Yisrael, Su'u'es Rosh, that the Eid of Rav are gone, the Shulam leaders are gone, so we have the Rosh B'nai Yisrael, the Shtemis Rebbe of Kedusha. Baruch Hashem. Likutey Moharan Kuf Yud Beis. Ben Azam in the posek, Vayneach Tzoyer HaTasel HaTeva. Amot Chalena Milmala Pesach HaTeva B'tzina Tosin Tachtiyim Shneim Shlisim Tosera. The binyan of the table. Elish Asher Kodesh types of Pshat Soihad. Soihad Yesh Emnim Eben Taiv. Some say that Soihad you should make of the table is an Eben Taiv, a diamond. Yesh Emnim Chaloin. So say that the Soihad means a Chaloin. Soihad itself means light. To make light either through a diamond that will give light to the table. So we say that light will come through a window. Then it says, Hina Yadua, it is known, Ki Solev it is Shoim is Halachim. The Shoim go around, they surround the Kedusha. Ki Asitra Achra Misavelis HaKedusha. So the Achra surrounds the Kedusha on the outside. Ki Aseh Yumaseh also. Hashem made one opposite the other. With that, especially Misha Kavad Nimshach Achra Avedis Chas HaSholem, Nimshach Achra Sitra Achra, V'Shom Mekayne Chas HaSholem, a person who is born after Avedis. There's places there, Chas HaSholem Sitra Achra, V'Hem Misabin Oisim Yifotzad. The Sitra Achra surrounds this person completely, Chas HaSholem. And finally he arouses himself, his Ruach, to go back to Hashem. Very difficult to speak right before Hashem. He was surrounded from all sides. Each one requires his own engine. Because it's impossible then to bring out words before Hashem with Yira and Avo and life as is fit, as it's supposed to. Therefore his words cannot, that he speaks, cannot split, break through the walls and the barriers that separate him, to allow him to go up, and they remain below, underneath these barriers, these walls. Till the time when he's to go back the emes, he'll speak words that are fit to be received with Yudah and Ava. From the depth of his heart, the real kavanah. Then this word, this dibur, which is light, which gives light, will then split through all these mechitzas and these barriers. It will bring up at the same time all the diburim he spoke that were lying below until now. But how can he to speak this special word that's made? Making in which everything is totally dependent upon it is emes. Because the chaysim of Hashem, the seal of Hashem is emes. Hashem lekechem emes. Who you say that color, you say the foundation for everything. Ki emes ureish tech seif. Beginning, the middle, the end, straight through its emes. The letters of emes are the first letter of the alphabet, the middle letter, and the last letter. The kivon shul madrega is emes. Since he's in madrega is emes, as soon as he gets in madrega is emes, azai kaviyachol nislabish boy oyesh yismavi atzmoya shechesome emes. And kaviyachol, it becomes encloaked in him, around him, the light of Hashem, whose chaysim is emes. The Oz Nemad Allah Hashem Aini V'Yishu. Hashem himself is my light and my help. The kivon is Hashem, since Hashem is his light, Yuchal Insay Psachim Harbe, he can find many openings, let's say it's Me'achishech V'Hagolashu Sagashum, to be able to get out with this light and the darkness in which he is enclosed. To be Emes, Yesh Shom Psachim Harbe, Hashem Arizal. Emes, there are a lot of openings, even for a person who is steeped in Tumah and Avedis. Like the Yomah says in Yomah, Habov Tami Paisum Light. One who comes to do an Avedis, become Tami, placingly open for him. Let's say open, Yesh like Psachim Harbe. There are many doors and many openings in which he can get out. The Kimush Nimtza Shom Psachim, since there are many psachim, many openings, so he would actually be able to go out, like a ksil b'cheshech chalech. But the fool continues going in darkness. He doesn't see these doors in which he can get out. So he also a kosher shom, and he is bound there in this darkness. And they don't let him get out. To speak words of emes before Hashem. Then the words give light. Hashem Erler Kanal, and Hashem is his light. The opening, the words create an opening that gives light to that the fools will be able to understand to. The words that give light, meaning the dibur of emes, they light before him, and they show him the Pesach, the opening. And the Sayim made him Psoyim. Because the fools who are in darkness, they can't see where to go out, Yovinu v'yidu ha-pesach lotzes min-ha-cheshach. They will understand, they will see the opening of the way they can come out from this darkness. V'shekosov leim leva-asurim tze'u v'asher v'cheshach igol. Say that those who are bound in darkness, in Golus, tell them that they can get out. Ach, but tzorach sheyihi ha-emes, emes gomur, boru, v'tzol, balishim, daifi. The emes must be complete, clear, perfect emes without any trace of falsehood. The hamaskil ha-maven, the person who is a real badas, a real basech will understand. Yeshlai his spalal kol yomov, it is worth, he should, daven his whole life. She yizke pam echad kol yemei chayav, that he was echad one time in his whole life, or dabe dibur echad shel emes l'nei Hashem karoi, to speak one single dibur of emes before Hashem. And if he is echad tonight, of course, we said, and it is all said that this one word of emes will give him the light to go out and bring up all the other tools. Yesh posek kam madreges, there are many madreges in this, and Misha zechad l'bechinas emes ha'amiti, the person is zechad to the bechinas emes, true bechinas emes, emes ha'amiti, azai Hashem erloi, and Hashem is his light, the azai who made it be atzmait, and this person gives forth a light himself. Ki neshlabesh by Hashem, because there is cloaked in him the light of Hashem. Ach misha adayim v'yegil madrega al yoyna shel emes, the person who did not yet reach the top madrega of emes. Kol zehu madrega shel emes, please, madrega of emes, not the top one, but in the madrega of emes. Af ki enei mei be atzmais, although he cannot give forth light himself. Be'achashli higili emes hanochi, because he didn't reach the real madrega of emes, the Eid of Hashem, so he can't give light to himself, the Eid of Hashem. Al kol zeh still, ha'emes hayil, the emes that he has, the low madrega emes will help. Sheyuchal achel lehoyabay, help the second person to be able to give light through him. Here too there were different madregas, different steps and different mechinas. The Rabbeinu Namask will be absolutely. First of all, self understands by himself. There are three alamas, three worlds. Elam HaMalachim, the Galgalim, the Hagashmi. Elam HaMalachim, the Elam Galgalim, the stars and planets. The Gashmi, the Elam HaSiyah. They wish they give us life and keeps them in existence with his word. Misha zecheli emes v'Hashem, or lo kaviyachol, person who emes v'Hashem is his oil, v'mekayim ha'olam v'neisen shekel ha'chalash v'Hashalomis. He too is mekayim v'yelam, he gives shekel to these three elements. Behind the chsiv, this is pshatna posek, tzoyha tasel ha'teivo, you should make light to the teiva, koine. Sh'tedabe di budei emes ha'me'idim, the teiva means words. Teiva is a word. You should make light to it, you should speak the true words of emes that give light. Yavzet teinish Asher Kodesh. Asher is touched. Yesh Aymidim Eben Toiv. Yesh Aymidim Chalan. Zeu Shamana. We said Yesh Aymidim Toiv. Film Madrega here. Misha Madrega emes Hamiti who may be Atzman. One is Madrega of emes Hamiti. He gives light by himself. Zeu Yesh Aymidim Emrei emes. Shehem Eben Toiv Shemei Atzman. There are some who say Emrei emes. There are some people who speak Emrei emes. What kind of emes they speak? That's emes that gives light by itself. That's Eben Toiv. The Yeshanim, Shein the emes, there are some who say also words of emes, Achloid Madrega, no, but not in this first high Madrega. The Heim Chaloin, it's like the Madrega of a window. Kiyuchal Achel Ahoyed Boy. Can lay Bachaloin. It's Madrega emes, what he can't give life himself, but somebody else can lay it through him like a window. Kizeh Achiluk Shabein Eben Toiv Lachaloin, it's a diamond and a window. Kiyuchal Eben Toiv Me'emi Atzmai. The diamond lights by itself, Yachaloin in Me'emi Atzmai. Like Chid Avedech, Achel Gen Hashemish, and Yetzibah Yachaloid Boy. Like the sun doesn't else can show it through it. The Dibur is called Amo, because Amo, the status a Shmayim, Shadi the Kolamayim. The word Dibur is called of these two Yesodus of a Shmayim, that's the Aleph and Mem of Amo. The Ahei, who Hey Mitzvah is a pet, and the Hey, and the five types of the letters are divided into five categories. That's the way the Nile says the letters. The Hainu, the El Amo, Dabe, the Buddha Mashetech, Alenam Malach. You should speak Amo, the words are made up of Amo, these kind of words. Craving of the soul. There should be a craving to go up. There should be words of emes that give light. It means to capture. The Sayed is to be able to capture the Torah to overcome it. You should be able to be zeich to make a pesach or pesach ateva b'tzido tosin. You should make a pesach with the words b'tzido in the Sitter Achra and the Zohar. The Tiskilas is pesach and Achra, the Achoshech and the Savim be called tzad. To make a pesach in the Sitter Achra and darkness which surrounds us from all sides. Kloi meshat of the Zohar las is pesach mechuvan mamish b'tzido. You should make a pesach that's mechuvan exactly b'tzido. What does it mean? Kloi mekineged the Sitter Achra shneged seder. The opposite, the Sitter Achra, which is called seder, thing which traps a person who has a shon. He can only establish that Seder of the Sitter Achra according to the power of the Seder of the Sitter Achra, came with the Zem, Mechuvan Mamish, exactly in correspondingly to this, in the same with the regular, at the Tzorech, Lazis, Pesach HaTeva. You have to make an opening with the words. How the Body Emes can know. How the Body Emes. You hold and hate it. You have to understand this very carefully, how a person can get out of the darkness of this. The person Hashem is sunk into the tachlis. There is gablis, and the cheshech darkness and klipo is a drachma who kolu musuga b'tech cheshech hafelam savelis and maketa says to be called tzidei stoder becomes a moving Nachman L'Slan. It is completely surrounded in so many ways by this extreme darkness. Nachman L'Slan the aim leishul pesach v'takona v'tachpul atzis b'tech cheshech. He has no opening. If I could already to go out of this darkness, as I can also she shechat with emes. You can say she should draw herself to the emes. The yabed al emes lamita. She should look only at the emes lamita. Yivake she like emes lamita. She should seek only the emes lamita. The keneged zeh in shul cheshech the sivu sheyachsheflay. There is no darkness possible that should be considered a barrier to him. Ki ha'emes so she has brought up the atzma. The emes is the she has brought up himself. B'chinas Hashem Eidi, where Hashem is his light. Hashem Eloi in Shem Cheshech Sheyachshech Isai. There's no darkness that can make it dark to him. If I Yiske Lilis Absachim Lotus Me'acheshech, will surely see the openings to go out of the darkness. And the Chinas Pesach Tvarecha Yoel Medim Soim. Can I explain? The Hoven hate it. Understand this very carefully. Ikol Shebet Tfilosei Utchinosei Bakashosei. Because at the time of his davening is Tfilos. Al Pi Sheyev Shelo Daber Shum Divu B'Tfilim Tachnunim Mikadol Acheshech Yadul V'Sal Leisai B'Yoz Niyad Nikol Sad. Even though he feels he cannot speak correctly with Kavanah because of the cheshech and the confusion that surrounds him, still, he should try at least. Whatever anybody says, whatever the negative speak, at least be emes. He gave a mushal, and said, Hashem Hashia be emes. So he can't find words, at least Hashem Hashia. Hashem help me, but he should say this be emes. I'll be She'ena Yachal and Dabi be Islam, if he say this, even though he can't speak with real, to arouse himself the real Kavanah. According to this say the words be emes. So this word that should be emes, Yiske Lida is Sapsachim Shemeteh HaCheshech, we don't see these openings in the darkness. Why then Yiske Lotus Me'acheshech, we own it with Spal Karoi, the canal. Bizach the Gemara, the Cheshech into the light and Daven Karoi. The Ayin calls Zeli, El Be'atayra, Emes Chasim Simon Test. You'll see this explained more in detail in Tayra Test. Gambo Zeh Sheyiske with Kaya Pesach Lotzes, to the fact that he'll be able to split open, to make an opening from which to go out. Yizake Gam Acherim Imoyli Eidel and Tshuva Reshoyim Acherim Loitziyim Me'acheshech Ve'agola Shem Asurim Shom. There's like others to go out to. Zeh Gamkem Bechinas of Pesach HaTeva Mitzida Tosim. Shatas HaPesach Be Oisom Shem Minatzad Mitzida, for the sake of those who are Minatzad, who can't find an opening, you'll make a Pesach for them too. Those who are on the other side, Sitter Achra, like the Sitter Achra, who Yasat Pesach, the Eidel Libam, the Ashivim Lotus Me'acheshech, who make a Pesach to arouse them, they should come out from the darkness. Yazai Tachtim, Shniyim, Ushlishim, I know Gimel Elam is canal, Tase. You'll create, you'll be kind of these three worlds. At the Kam the Emes canal, because through your Emes you'll give them a key. Yesh the Klal, the Vodam Hanal, and Yonim Givoyim, Binyan Atfil, Lachol Echlafim, and Gosai. And these words, there are very high Yonim for each person, according to the Lega and Binyan Atfila. Binyan Zeh, Nichval, Inyan, Kechopim, and Mazolis, Echnasan, and Chinas Atfila. There's a Kuda too, Inyan, Kechopim, Mazolis, how they are made through Tfila, from Eis and Shefa, Lachol Dova. How this gives Shefa to each thing in existence. Inyan Mashem Chazal, the Gemara says, Ein Lachol, Kol Esev, Shem Lekach, Mamala. There's no grass, blade of grass which hasn't got a kach of a star above it that tells it that's Maka Esev, like a Dale tells it to grow. Hu Mashpil, Lachol, B'dibul of Hamitir. He gives Shefa to everyone through his words of Emes. Inyan is Chois Atfila, and also the Inyan about the different Chois Atfila, Ki Yesh Yud Be'ez Sholem Kidu, there are 12 Sholem in heaven. Yudbein Shiftei Kof. Each one has to have a tefillah go to each one of these Rishonim. Tzolach Veihalas, Tzimossi L'Shad HaShevet, he has to bring his tefillah to the Shad of his own Shevet. Kim Yagil L'Shad HaShevet Achel Yichalalis, and he brings the Shevet, he can't go inside. Zeh Dorach Kochel B'Yaakov, V'Kom Shevet B'Yisrael. Kom means tefillah. Kom in Amida Ela tefillah. Kom means to stand, Amida is tefillah. V'Yam et Pinchas V'Yifalo. Then the Shevet B'Yisrael, Tzolach V'Halas, Tzimossi L'Shad HaShevet, he has to bring his tefillah to the gate of his Shevet. And Dorach Kochel B'Yaakov Kanal. Yaakov is either tefillah where the kochav gives the koch each thing together. The shefa. Zeh nas a zivig l'malach, and this is created a zivig anyan in heaven. Derech hu b'china zivig. Derech the b'china zivig. Glashe ki yishis kol bosa is darka in the scene of chila bris, zivig. Dorach kochav b'Yaakov, the male there is a zivig l'malach. Hainish in his style, Abba ben Yamin, this is what Abba ben Yamin said, he said, kol yomov al tefilosei, Mistay was my whole life about his tefillah, shtei samacham mitosei. Because his mitosei in his bed. Pshat is matosei to the shevet. Ish l'matei aveisav tishlochu. Each one just send his tefillah to the matei, to the shevet aveisav. Shetzorach l'shleich ha-tefillah l'matei aveisav, hainu l'shevet shleikon. He sent his tefillah to the shevet of his forefathers, to his own shevet, to the correct shah shebashmayim of his shevet. Hainu shtei smucha l'mitosei, the matei shalai. Be close to his shevet. Gal mitosei shetahei nesuna b'ntzaf u'nedorim. The person wants to be chacham, he should be responded to Dorim. Being rich is responded to Tzafim. It means to the midah, Dorim means Tzafim. And everything, the best thing is the middle path. It means the middle path, not to go to any extreme. It should be in between both. Dorim is Chachma, that's Tainet, and Safan is Ashidus, which should be in between. And Tfilah should be Chinas Vitosek, should be in between both. Hainen Bein Chachma, V'Aisha, Shein Chinas Safan, V'Gavim Canal, Zayshah V'Hachkim Yadu, the Mashi Yatzpin, Zayl Pesach HaTeva, B'Tzina Tosim, the Spala, the Burei Emes, being a Spala, the word of Emes, Yalo, and the Kaimel Shah Shevet, Shvaysh got that place in the Shah of his own Shevet, and B'Tzina Tosim, B'Tosim Pesach HaTeva, and if the Burei Emesh al Tfilah, you should place it b'tzida, b'tzad shelah, b'shah shvatei magilai. The side where it belongs, the side of the shah, the shevet which you're supposed to reach. The inyan amuk. The inyan is very, very deep. I can call that b'siman tes hanal. Look, see all this detail in siman tes. Shayach li'el, mashikos hashon. We said before, ki bi emes yesh shon psochim harbe. The emes, in the tumah there are many openings, like Arizal, like the Gemara says, Habolatami Pleschalei. Yesh leib Psochim Harbe. A person goes into tumah, so there are many openings. The keyboard is Shinimtza Shom Psochim, and since there are Psochim there, which ones? Hainu ha-Psochim Shenofal al Yodam, the Psochim from which he fell himself, Hoye Yechelus Lotzes, he would be able to go out. Like Aksil b'cheshech chelech hayesham, but Aksil goes in darkness and he can't find these openings. Rosenfeld says that Oskeshemati mi piv hakodesh upol inyan hanal. I heard from the Arizal this whole inyan. The badi Arizal, I spoke to that Arizal, and I asked him, "Shalachura kosha al zeh." Him is it's kasha on these words. Kilei Arizal amru sham. The Gemara says, "Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Why is this world created with the letter Hey? Ki b'koh Hashem tzilom, Yud-Kei Hashem tzilom. Hashem created the Elam and the Elamus with Yud-Kei. Yud Elam Haba and Kei Elam Hazeh. The Gemara says, why did Hashem create this world with the letter Hey? But Nei Shedei Meli Achsadra. Because it's like an Achsadra. It's open from underneath. Achsadra means a long hall or an alley. You walk into a hall, you're walking in with the entrance you're walking into is open. There's no door there at all. You go inside, so you have two walls on this side, and then a wall facing you at the extreme end. So you have, an achsadra is three walls, completely closed, and just the place you came in from is open. That's an achsadra. So this world is shaped like an achsadra, which is in letter Hey. Because any person who wants to go out, to leave, it means to go into tumah, then it's open for him. All the time it's place for him. And if a person wants to go out to commit sins, so it's open, he can go out. My tamo talia kare. So they want to ask what's the reason why the leg of the hay is hanging. The hoda b'tshuva ma'avile. Because if he wants to do tshuva, so they bring him inside. They bring him up. The pesach ha'elyon ben regel sheb'techa v'galei. person who does tshuva, he can get back inside the Chassidut, between the regular dehay to the top, the roof of the hay. There's a little opening where the regular is not attached to the top. If there's that opening, a person can go back and he does tshuva. So the Gemara asks, really, why can't they bring him back to the wide opening on the bottom where he went out from? The Gemara asks, it's not enough. It won't do any good. Why did they bring him back in this opening on the bottom from which he went out? Yes, the person who's come to be metied himself has to have assistance against the Yitzhahara. Therefore, the assistance is to give him an additional opening on top. So we see from here that it is impossible for a person to go out of the tumah, to go back in tshuva, to get back inside from the same Pesach in which he fell. Like the Gemara says, the Mashikar says, this seems to be a stira against what the man said before. Be able to go back tshuva from the tumah through the same Pesach in which he came into tumah. Then also the person can go back and do tshuva through the same Pesach in which he left. The Gemara says it's not enough, but it's time also. You have to have an additional Pesach. The Omar Arizal said, so you asked, well, it means casually, that there are saydas deeply hidden in these words. The matik of a thesis on the Kitzvah Kutam says, yes, and R Nosson's kasha, what's the kasha of Chatchila? We could say that what the Gemara means is, true that a person goes out from the bottom, the big opening, and he has to have a help on the top, to go inside to the top. But actually, the Arizal is still right. The Arizal said that a person can go back through the opening which he came. The Arizal said that there is cheshech, there is darkness, and therefore a person cannot go back to the same opening. He has to have the additional opening on top. But if a person will take be zecher, so it has to speak to the emes and have a light, to create light, he can go back to the same opening too. Although there's an opening on top also. There's no speed to the words of the Gemara. That's the Matik's kasha and the Noson's kasha. However, the Arizal accepted this kasha as a good one. It shows that the Noson's kasha was the right one. But apparently, we must say, to answer the Matik's kasha, the Arizal himself said, the fetish, that the kivish is Hashem psachim, and psachim shnaf la'yodam, that a person could go back mamish through the same Pesach. And Hashi comes with the fetish laden, but the Stayim Milsa, that it is impossible to go back there. It means that there's no condition that a person go back to the same Pesach in which he came. He must have an additional Pesach. As the Noson's kasha was, that since it is impossible at all to go back to the same Pesach. That means that the fetish of the person can go back through what? The Pesach of Tumah. Not through on a different kind of a Pesach. The Pesach of Tumah can go back. So there's a stira. So it's committed to answer the kasha of the Matik. And this Rabbi Nachman answered, there's a deeper meaning here. A person would be zecher to see the openings that are in the tumah itself. True that he cannot go back to his own Pesach that he made from tumah, but he can go back to the Pesach of tumah where his chava fell. Because you have different madregas. Whatever is a yeridah and a fila to one, by a person much lower, there is an aliyah. So you hobbit. Again, understand deeply. At times was considered the fila to his chava. Who's in a much higher madrega, nechshav et slay is considered the person lower, b'chinas aliyah, to aliyah to him. The guy with the yossi hashvel, according to his low madrega. Okay, therefore, though as the Gemara says it is impossible to go back to the Pesach in which he himself fell, like the Pesach, he has to have a higher Pesach, still, see the Pesachim that are found in the Tumah itself. Still you can get back to the Pesachim of the Tumah itself. True, not your own, but through a person who's higher. You can go back to the Pesach of Tumah, from which is Chava fell. Chava is much higher. Maybe you can go up to this Pesach, which is the Pesach Tumah with Chava. but it was impossible to see the psachim in the tumah that's there. But Allah was b'shuma, you have to go through them. Ki ma'izayah emes, only through emes. She yagi l'ashu l'dabe b'tzilos, yadibim b'emes, ki ma'shu. She becomes herself to speak the word until b'dib emes, according to his madrega. Afal tisha, chishach, amaniyas, adabulim, is seven, my keepers, that we call seven, within his studim, who is barely surrounded. Babban Isai, mi oid, achiriach l'espal klal. We can still, I'll component at least, yidel dabe yadiva b'emes, b'ez madrega shum kanal, if you speak b'emes, is madrega. The Chayyin will have Shich Atzmei Tomid El HaEmes Labi the canal, he draw himself always to Emes. By the Zayizke Sheyoel Vayash as well, the Atzmei, the Yida Psachim Sheyeshon, to be there to see through the light of Hashem, the Psachim that are found there. The Yizke Lotzes, the Cheshach Yayik Double the canal. The Yizke Lotzes to the great light. And Yeshon, Heitiv. Always, no matter what happens to him, Yechayim Lehachis is Atzmei, Lahachsik is Atzmei, and he always be straight in himself and give himself light for this. There's no darkness. You can always use the oil of Hashem. There's no tumor possible where there's no pesach. There's always a pesach to go for them. You can't even go to the darkness. Opening of hope. Can be emek nefilosai, what is behind fatal the oida, to go out from darkness to light, or is kare, it'll be as well be emes, tomid. From close to Hashem be emes, always. Omen. Father Hashem. Kutam alam terik kopit gimu. Then Zohar brings in the Shilab and Yisroim in ha'odom midatay, v'shma midatay. There is punishment objected to a person, both from his knowledge and without his knowledge. Then it all teaches it. Kishamati b'shem al Shemtev. Then it also says, I heard b'shem, the name of the Hashem HaKadosh. Kikodim kol gizad din sheba elam chas v'shalom. Before any gizad din, before any gizad that's given down from heaven, chas v'chaliva, may asrin kol ha'elam. So, heaven, they bring together the entire world to ask, in maskimin lehadin ahu. The world agrees, is masking to that din, that judgment or that gizera, that punishment. Even the man himself, against whom this gizera came out, they ask him if he agrees to this gizera din. Then the din is completed, the decision is handed down, and the gizera is sent down. Then there's also the Inyan is ki the vadai. If they would ask this man himself about himself, whether they should give him this punishment, then surely he will deny it. He'll say, surely it is not like that. He doesn't deserve this gzera. But they trick him. They don't ask him about himself. They ask him about a similar case. What if this happened to somebody else? What would you say should be the din in this case? The whole posek hadin. And this man, thinking that they're speaking about someone else, he gives the psak din, his own judgment. The azai nikma hadin, and the din is completed against this person. The same case he found with R Nosson. Nosson came to him. He told him the story of the Ayah, that the story about it was a rich man, and the guest came to his house, and he was too stingy to use his own food. So he went to the Oni. There was one poor man in the city who had one kafsa, one little sheep. He took away that kafsa by force, and he gave the kafsa to his Adeach. This Adeach, of course, the Mephoshim say means the Soton, the Yitzhar, when he comes to a person, first he comes as a guest by the door. If you allow him in, he becomes Ben Bayis Chas V'Sholom. Then he becomes the whole boss. So the Mephoshim says that first he was an Adeach, and he gave it to the Ish. He became already the boss over the Yoshim. Sudden, if you allow him, give him leeway, Chas V'Sholom, so he becomes a master. So this question was asked of David HaMelech. What do you say? Nosson Novi asked him, what do you say about a man like this? A rich man who went and stole the only possession of this Oni, he took it for himself. Ono the Ono, the Rambam says, Chai Hashem, that this man is Ben Mothers, he should die. Yes, like Kafsa, for the sheep, he should pay 4 times as much. Boy, Yishon Taranaseh. Azai, nifs like Hadin al Dovid, Kashiyotzmi Piv. Then Nosson Novi said, this man I'm speaking about is you. You took away the Kafsa from Uriachita. He had only one wife, Basheva. Since you decided to din, therefore you're supposed to get this punishment, and that's how the punishment came up. Similarly, in all cases, when they want to get the judgment out of a person, so they ask him about somebody else. The man says, of course he deserves punishment. Then, heaven they say, this may agree to his own kseda, so that's what he gets it. This is Peshat, the Arizal says, when the Throim in the Odom Mitatoi, that they punish a person Midatoi, that means from his chavastas, his opinion. According to his opinion, according to Shailan Datei, they ask his opinion. Yafal Pikein of Shlomi Datei. Still it's without his knowledge. First Datei means opinion, second means knowledge. Because he doesn't know when they ask him this Shaila that they're speaking about himself. The Indian who almost me eid, Shailan Koladam. This Indian itself is very deep how they come to ask each person. Because there are so many exedas against each person, how they come to ask each person about what he deserves. Because in all the words and stories that a person hears, he will find there, if he looks deeply, he'll find very high in Yonim. The person must be very careful with his talk. He shouldn't decide a certain case until he reviews it twice or three times. By his word saying this person deserves that, it could be for somebody else, and it might even be himself. And the words are very deep. There's deep sighters here. Because in the speech, the words that a person speaks, they're very high in Yonim. That is the Pshat in the Gemara, Chaviv and Alacha Yisudim. That the Tikuney came to visit Rabbi Nachman, he was sick. So he asked Rabbi Nachman, do you like the Yisudim? Rabbi Nachman said, I don't want them. So Rabbi said, Havli Yodach, give me your hand. Rabbi Nachman gave him his hand, and Rabbi Nachman raised him up out of bed. And we'll say, explain the meaning. What did he say to him? He asked Rabbi Nachman, do you want the Yisudim? If you don't want it, give me a handshake, which means that you show that you really mean it. You don't want the Yisudim? Because once he decided about himself that he doesn't deserve the Yisudim, doesn't deserve this Kedadin, that's accepted in heaven. That's Midatim Shlomi Datei. Therefore he gave him his hand. The Ekman picked him up, took him out of the Chalas, because the Gzeda became bottled to his own decision. Baruch Hashem. Likutey Moharan Teira Kuf Yud Aleph. Then is brings the posek from Achase Shemayim Be'ovim, covers the sky with clouds. Menachem Mendel Schneerson is rain for the earth. Arizal says, Kitayv mi oid malas ha-tzadikim ha-genuzim. The mala of the tzadikim who were hidden is very great, very high. She'en yechelem lekabel shefa v'reiv teva v'yhamshich lehayvam. Because they are the ones who are able to receive shefa and reiv teva to bring, to draw it for the sake of the world. V'einam shayavim aleihim. V'einam mekatrigim aleihim. There's no one to ask about them. Why? No one to argue against them. There's no klippos to argue against them. Machmas shehem genuzim v'einam aferstom. Because these tzadikim are hidden, they're not known, they're not famous. And therefore, the Baldava doesn't know about them, and he's not mekatig. He doesn't ask. He doesn't ask how do they come to this covet. Ach afilu mishahu mefursum. But even in the case of a tzadik who isn't forcing, kishayesh Allah machlekes, when there is machlekes against him from these klippos, u'te'elis lazeh, it's still a favor for him. Ki machlekes machasela, because the machlekes covers upon him. This machlekes is not machlekes of the Baldova, the Satan. This machlekes is machlekes from people, from other tzadikim, or from others who are chel against the tzadik. This covers for him against the Baldova, against the Satan. This machlekes, he is able to draw a shefa for the world, and the Baldava won't protest to be katig against him, because there's a cover upon him. The cover is the machlekes shlomatim. This is pshat in the posek in Mechase Shemayim Be'ovim. Covers the Shemayim Be'ovim. Shemayim u b'chinas ha-tzadik, Hashem ei Shemayim, and Ahava v'yira. Shemayim means a tzadik who is called Shemayim because Shemayim is a combination of a Shemayim, which is Ahava and Yira. Mayim is Ahava, Mayim is the Chasadim, and Eish is Gevurais, which is Yira. It would be Gemata Yira. Yal Shem Zeh Nikra HaTzadik Shemayim. Therefore the tzadik who has Ahava and Yira is called Shemayim, the combination of both a Shemayim. This covering the Shemayim, the tzadik with ovim. Ovim means thickness, it's gashmias. Shemachaseh on tzadik, the ubi is the kashias, shemakshir l'chalkerolov. Tzadik is covered by these gashmias, the kashias, the machlekes that they ask against, and they argue against them. The kisui and machlekes, the kashias are able, through this cover of machlekes and kashias that are against the tzadik, he is able to bring the shepherd to the world. This he can be mamshech shepherd without any argument, without any kiruv from the Baldava. This is a pshat in the posek tzeifer Rosh al tzadik. Rosh shechelik al tzadik tulak tzeifer. The Rosh seeks to do better than tzadik. Tzeifer means cover, and a tzipui v'kisoy al tzadik. But this Rosh Shalmata means a person who's chelik and the tzadik. He's a tzeifer, he's a cover for the tzadik. Cover the bends of bringing Tikuney Zohar in the posek Tikuney Zohar. Then you have covering tzeifer. But the tzeifer would be mamshech to draw the shepherd from heaven. Ach mevakesh la'am yisai. She'arosh mevakesh la'akar la'amed chadashom as a tzadik. His desire is he seeks to chadashom to be a maker of the tzadik, to destroy chadashom. But Hashem li'azana biyotah. But Hashem protects the tzadik against this. Rashi doesn't allow the Rashi to do him any harm. Then it says that Inya Mevayla Yebusim and Peches B'Shini Lashon Tzas. We learned this Inya Simon Peches before, slightly different Lashon. These are the kind of Simon Ches. This topic is discussed more in detail further on the Simon Ches. Baruch Hashem. People stayed at a distance from Har Sinai, and Moshe Nigash Harav, and Moshe Rabbeinu came close to the thick dark cloud, as Hashem Halikim, where Hashem was. And it says, Kimisha, who Halach the Gashmi is Kol Yomov, person who goes in Gashmi all his life, most of his time. He wasn't zechi yet to Aliyah Beruchnis. Yachakach Neslahe, V'Reitzavil V'Dakesh in Spodach, then he becomes enthused, and he wants to go with Hashem. Become more firm to do mitzvahs, to be with Hashem. Zay midas adin mikatei galov. The Moldovas Chazashom mikatei against it. Ein meniya chaysay v'rach v'dakesh in Spodach doesn't allow him, doesn't let him to go. He makes meniyas where he can't, seems that he can't go. Mazmul meniyah, the pairs meniyah for him, the barrier. Hashem is Spodach chafetz chesed, though the Ebershter wants stavke chesed. He wants the chesed, which is, this is a question of din. The mikatei is automatically din. Hashem wants better chesed. Masti is atzmei kaviyachol b'ameniyah hazais. The Kaviyachol must hide himself in this maniyah that the Baldava places in front of the person who wants to be Eved Hashem. See further, more details about this. The Melo Mishu Bardas, one who has Seichel Amiti, who mistaken by maniyah. He looks at the maniyah itself at this barrier, who might say, there he finds the heavenliness, there he finds the Kedusha of Hashem. Yerushalmi, like the Gemara says in Tikuney Yerushalmi, the person will ask you, where is Hashem? Where will you find Hashem? In the deepest place of Tumah, the main Tumah is, that's where you'll find the Kedusha. So we see from there that in the Maniyah itself, the worst Maniyah, the critical place, that's where you'll find that to the highest Kedusha. The person who doesn't have seichel, so maybe he's frightened. When he sees the maniyah, this barrier, he sees the maniyah in the way of Hashem, he figures there's no chance, no hope for him. Because in front of him is dark. What chance he got to go ahead into this darkness and find any kedusha? So he retreats, he goes back. Maniyah, barrier is a bechina of cloud and darkness. Cloud and darkness is the inyan of cheshech. The cheshech of maniyah. The word cheshech, where sin is an inyan of maniyah barrier. You did not deny, you did not withhold back in maniyah. People stayed at a distance. Ordinary people haven't got the seichel. They saw there's darkness in maniyah, so they stood at a distance. They retreated. Moshe Rabbeinu Shehu b'chinas das kol Yisrael. He went into the Adolfo, into the darkness. Right there in the Adolfo, he found the kid. The Maniyah, where in the Maniyah itself, the Ebershter is hidden. Rosenfeld We heard more about this in detail. He added explanation to its former Indian. The Aruch himself hides himself in this Maria. The Arizal said, the Aruch still likes Mishpat as this. And also he likes Israel, likes the Jews. R Nosson, but the love that Hashem has for Yisrael is greater than his ava that he has for din. The Alkin, and therefore, which is a midas a din. This mekateg tries to set up a maniyah against the person who wants to come close to Hashem. The Moldova tries to stop it. He doesn't want to allow him to go into the derech hachayim, the path of true life, to come close to the tzadik, to become the skash of the tzadik emes, and to go in the derech emes. Hashem is Porach, who I had mishpat. And the Amish we said likes mishpat, likes din, and this is din. Because din is that a person who's an osha is supposed to pay for it, is supposed to stop it. How can he use Porach muchrach kaviyachal haskim lehazno by maniyas l'menu derech hachayim? Kaviyachal Hashem is kaviyachal force because he likes din, so then he must agree to it with the Moldova to give him the knees to stop him from getting to the Derech. But if he might have not be a mishpat, according to what the person deserves, according to his Averis. Julius Barach in a Yaakov Adin. Kaviyach Hashem cannot be dechin, cannot push aside the din. Julius Barach and mishpat cannot, because Hashem likes mishpat, so then he must agree to it, Kaviyach. Achmei Acha should be Emes, Julius Barach and Yisrael, but since actually at the end is Hashem likes Yisrael. The Yisrael, Moshe Yisrael, he can barely Yisrael, he has a mishpat cannot. The Avli has for Yisrael is greater than the Avli has for din. Ma'arisa Hashem is Baruch Bar Hashem Duki Muchrach Kaviyachal Haskin on when he is from my name in the Emes. Kaviyachal cannot stop the din itself. That he has to agree to. Machmas Hadin and Mishpat Shalom because the din is upon this person. You have Mishpat cannot because he likes Mishpat, so he can't stop the din. Avlapa became the Emes Vamita that Tzonei the Chefse is Barach. Still the Emes Vamita that the will of Hashem is more. Shtama became Yiskari Voda Mil Yisborach. But still a person should come close to Hashem. Ki Yehoyeh Yisrael Yes Mishpat cannot because he likes the Jews more than the Mishpat. So what does Hashem do? Okay, therefore Hashem is Barach Nosson is Shusli has from my Meniyas. I wish that does give a Shus to give him the Meniyas because of the din that he likes. When he is Barach the Atzai Masti is Atzmei Kaviyachal B'Techa Meniyas. Hashem is Barach himself brings himself into these Meniyas. He hides himself in the Meniyas. Mishu Badas Yaakov Insay Hashem is Barach Osecha Meniyas B'Atzman. A person who is Badas Pasechel could go into the Meniyas and find Hashem is Barach right there in the Meniyas itself. The Emes ain't show Meniyah B'Elam Klal. Because there's no actual maniyah to keep him away from Hashem. Keep it taken from maniyahs. That's what it's Hashem's Baruch. Because in the maniyahs itself, I find hidden Hashem's Baruch. Like they have maniyahs be atzmon daiki yachel is Hashem's Baruch. The person can become close to Hashem, not in a roundabout way, but through the maniyahs themselves. Like Kishom nister who is Baruch. Because in the itself, that's where Hashem is hidden. There's a pshat and mention. Nigashav halafel shehem maniyah. Imagine they can't cross the halafel, which is the maniyah. Kishom alekim kilo. Because right there in the halafel, in the maniyah, there he found Hashem. A person about Danis can always find Hashem right in the Meniyas himself. He doesn't think, oh, far, he can find that Hashem is right in the Meniyas himself. Good morning, I'm Terry Kuf says, a person gives stucca, he is saved, he is rescued from sins, from committing sins. By giving stucca, a person will be stopped from committing sins. Arizal explains, Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Is anybody who has pity on others, who is kind to others, and Mele, so there's Mida Kagamidas, so they are kind to him, so they have pity on him. A person who has no das, so the Gemara says too that you're not allowed to have pity on him. There's a person who has no das, Mele has no achmim, so Mele there's no pity in him from heaven. So Mele, the person is not allowed to have pity on a person like that who has no das. The person has rachmanas on somebody else, meaning he gives tzedakah. So there has to be rachman given to him, but you can't give rachman to a person who has no das. So first they must give him das in order to give him rachman. You can't give rachman unless the person has das. When a person shows that he has rachmanas on somebody else, he's supposed to receive rachman. First he gets the das, and then he gets the rachman. The azai needs to be local that they have made him. So if they give a person das, then maybe he is saved from committing a sin. He wants to say that a person doesn't commit a sin unless first he has a ruach shtus, which means a lack of das. The das is missing. And it's a person has das, he hasn't got the ruach shtus, so there's no aveda. das, so he has no Avedas. So man, if he gives stuff, which means he has Nachman of somebody else, there has to be Nachman given to him. Nachman can be given only to the person who has das. So first they must give him das in order to give him Nachman. When they give him their das, so man, he cannot do any Avedas. So because he gave stucca, therefore das is given to him, and man, he can't commit sins. From giving stucca, he is mitzvah from committing sins. Man can't eat Rosen. Look at what I'm telling you, Kofi Zayit. They will say, so Inyan Shekoshe, Lishon, and Maitzoi Shabbos. Inyan that we see that it is difficult to sleep Maitzoi Shabbos. It's not to fall asleep Maitzoi Shabbos, just the opposite of Leil Shabbos. Shena B'Shabbos Tainik. Inyan is given Maitzoi Shabbos, Maskil, and Esgalas Eliyahu. Maitzoi Shabbos that begins the Esgalas, the revelation of Eliyahu Navi. Mishomah Chazal, the Gemara says, In Eliyahu Bo B'Shabbos, why be Erev Shabbos? The Navi does not come, will not come on Shabbos or Erev Shabbos. Because Shabbos is a Shabbos, Tumen is Shabbos, and Erev Shabbos because of the preparing for Shabbos. Well, Maitzoi Shabbos Yichalolei. When is the beginning of his ability to come? It begins Maitzoi Shabbos. The Alkeme Oz Maschil Eskalas Le'yom. Therefore, from that time on, Maitzoi Shabbos again, the revelation of Le'yom can become revealed. Arizal. The Mishnah says, Ein Eliyahu bo elu arachik ham lekorovim b'zraya, or lekarei b'menachokim b'zraya. The Navi is coming only to be merachik, to drive away those who became part of the Jews forcefully, those who were apostle and forced themselves into become part of the Am Yisrael. The lekarei to bring close those who were driven out forcefully. We have the case they weren't those about kings who were bad or evil, who know about certain parts of the Jews. So he's coming to bring close those who were driven away and to be menachik those who came into the Am Yisrael against the will of the Jews. Meaning, be'heinu arachik ha-sheker or karei lahemes. The menachik to drive away the sheker, those who are false. The karei to bring close the emes. Mainly, he's bringing close the emes. Mashom Arizal b'Zohar Kodesh. The shor ha'imino, this amin, because it asks, sir sfas emes tikkun la. Yes, but as a gadol, it says sfas emes tikkun la. And sfas emes, that which is true will remain forever. So he asked him, how can you say that the Jews are true? We see that the Jews haven't got any Tekuma, Chas Hashem. We see that the Jews are low down, and the Goyim are high. So it comes out that the emes is by the Goyim, Chas Hashem. Ishmael Lezer answered him, Kainenis likes it. It doesn't say Kainenis is now strengthened. Elastika. It means the future. Ki emes possibly is kain. The future will first come out. The emes will come out first in the future, not that right now. Right now, so the sheker is good. But the Yosef Lord Mashiach comes, and the Navi comes, then we'll first have the emes. Then the Kshiyovi Eliyahu Mashiach, then we'll first have the emes. Ein Shem. Because Kshiyovi Eliyahu Biyono Yevoshi Yehuda Yisrael, as Likutey Sfas emes Tikuney. When Navi comes, then we'll become clean the Sfas emes Tikuney. The emes will have a strengthening. Kiruv. The Rachik HaMekurovim B'Zraya, Ad She'achshav Shehu B'Sheker. We'll drive away those Mekurovim B'Zraya, till now they Mekurovim through Sheker. The Ikarev Lechokim B'Zraya, She'en B'chinas Emes. We'll bring close the Menuchokim, those who are distant, which are B'chinas Emes. There's Pshat in those words, Rachik HaMekurovim, L'Ikarev Lechokim, and Rachik HaSheker, L'Ikarev Emes. When we say the word Mekurovim, that means Sheker. When we say the word Menuchokim, it means Emes. The Gemara says, Sheker mekarev in milay, the emes menachkim milay. He wants that sheker is very close. In other words, it's shchiach. We see it a lot. And emes is very distant. You don't see it much. The Gemara brings it because the letters of sheker are close. Shin, Kuf, Resh, the three letters of the alphabet, which are right next to each other. And emes is menachkim because emes is the furthest letters are part of the alphabet himself. So, Mela, the Hobbin, understand this is Pshat here. He'll come to be menachik the sheker, which is close, kind of the emes, which is rachik. That will happen when the Navi comes. The Eliyahu Navi will come to menachik the sheker, which is the bechina of the Nachash, who is called Oru. It says Oru about the Nachash, and that's the bechina of sheker. The Nachash heviya miso li'elu. The Nachash, which is the Malach Ra, which is a Satan, or a Satan, or a Satan, or he brought Misa to the Elu. The Asheno, Echamishi Shimba Misa, and sleep is 1/60th of Misa dead. As the Gemara says, Kiruv Shibim Moitzoi Shabbos Maschil Kalas Eliyahu. And since Moitzoi Shabbos begins, it is Kalas Eliyahu. No, the Nitcha Sheker Sheyanochash. The male of the Sheker we say is driven away. The Sheker is the Nochash, which means the Misa, which means the Shena. Koshalishon, therefore it's difficult to sleep. Arizal says, I thought I'd cover the Shena Yadol 10 percentages of Shena, of sleep, came down to the world. Tisha, not Avodim. 9/10 the Avodim took. The Eved of Bechinas Kenan, Eved Avodim. Eved of Bechinas of Kenan, Eved Avodim, Yaakov. But Bechinas, Oru, Bechinas HaNachash. Kenan is also Oru Kenan, which is the Bechina of Nachash. The Kiruv Shibim Moitzoi Shabbos, so Bechinas is Kalas Eliyahu. Since Moitzoi Shabbos, the time they becomes revealed, the male Nitcha Bechinas HaNachash, Bechinas Kenan, Eved Avodim. So the Nachash, who is the Bechina of Oru, which is the Bechina of Kenan, Eved Avodim, which is the Bechina of Shena, 9/10 of Shena, Nitcha Shena Sheyodol Avodim. So the Shena, the sleep, which is given to Avodim, it now becomes Nitcha, because that's the Oru, that's the Sheker. That's why it's difficult to sleep in Moitzoi Shabbos. Okay, Mayon, the Gimatiyah Ben Epach Bechinas Eved. That's why you only got Gimatiyah 52, which is Bain. The opposite of Eved, of slave, is Bain. To show that he drives away this Inyan of Eved, of Shena. In the Kapel Zachal says, he brings a nice thing where the Arizal was sitting at a Mesiba, and the Shaila was asked, Kasha was asked, how can we say that there becomes certain things that Yehemuna Chachiyah Eliyahu take to will be Mavada Bein Avin Momelis. We know that the din of Akishnevi Tekundaba, you have to adapt it to Edis. And at this Mesiba, none of them can answer this Kasha. So he asked the Arizal, and finally he answered them that this isn't a question of the other being shockled connected to Beis Edom. The Torah remains, it didn't have two Edom. What then? He comes from Melachik the Sheker, he'll drive away the Sheker completely. He'll be Megal the entire Emes. So then it means that the Din, who is wrong, will be Megal the Emes himself, will be Meidel Emes. I do us tzadik and Edom Domin. So then the Din is always Meidel. Why is he Meidel? Because the Emes become the Skala. He'll have to speak the Emes himself too. So then will become the Meidel all these Sekers. Arizal says, another reason why is that they go to sleep on Shabbos, Moitzoi Shabbos, ki im ein das, Havdalah minay. Yerushalmi says, if there's no das, how can you have Havdalah? That's why we have the Atachanatonu in the Bracha, Chayna Das. That speaks about Havdalah, you have to have das in order to understand the hefkel between Chayshach and all the types of Havdalahs. Moitzoi Shabbos, sheyesh Havdalah, Bechinas Das. Moitzoi Shabbos, when you have Havdalah, so it's a Bechinas Das, because ki im ein das, Havdalah minay. Well, it's the time of Das. Okay, in Koshalishon, it's difficult to sleep. Yeah, Shena is talking to Das, because Shena sleep means, but the Das leaves a person. But since Moitzoi Shabbos is a time when there is Das, because we have Havdalah, so there is Das there, therefore, so it's talking to Shena, so the Shena leaves, because there is Das now. That's why it's difficult to sleep Moitzoi Shabbos. That's the second reason. Baruch Hashem. Kutei Menan Teili Kuf Yudches. Arizal says, Keshalimit is a double when a person learns something, any part of the Torah, Gemara, Halacha, or anything, Farish, Hadol B'Lashon Ashkenaz. It's good to be Farish, teach the words of Lashon Ashkenaz, which means Lashon Chayil. Not the Lashon Kodesh, meaning here is Hebrew, and Lashon Ashkenaz means Lashon Chayil. Shemebet, the language he understands. Any language he understands. This brings about a Teva favor for the world, because it forgives for these sins of the world. The Arizal explains, he called tzadik hadoyru b'chinas Moshe b'chinas Mashiach. Every tzadik hadoyru is a b'china of Moshe Rabbeinu, who is also b'china Mashiach. Which comes like the point that says, Ad ki yovei shiloi, hainu Mashiach. Ad ki yovei shiloi, melech shamlucha shaloi, the king who will have the kingdom for good, which is Mashiach. So shiloi is Mashiach. Plain shot. And the shiloi b'gimatiyah Moshe, Gimatiyah Moshe Rabbeinu. So we see that Moshe Mashiach is the same b'china. Later, because the Aleph is the two Yudin in the above and the middle, it's two Mashiachs and Moshe Rabbeinu the Imtza, they all come together. The Alkein Kodem Vatanoim Echad Lachavedei Moshe, K'moshe Kosav Moshe Shafi Komenim. Therefore, the Tanoim called each one to the Chava. They said to Moshe, Moshe, you said good. Why did they say Moshe? Because each tzaddik is a Bechina Moshe Mashiach. K'shemachadish Tova Bat Torah, one is Machadish anything in Torah, it says Chiddush in Torah. The words of the Chiddush themselves are Bechina Moshe Mashiach. Mashikosav B'Zohar Kodesh. The Zohar Kodesh says, "V'ruach Elikim dorucho de Mashiach." Ruach Elikim Menachem Ruach Elikim Ruach Mashiach. The posek Leif Toher Beroli Elikim. Leif Toher Hashem create me a Leif Toher, so because it means Leif Maven. I should have a Leif Toher. I have to help understand the words of Torah. And the Ruach Nosson Chadash Bekir the Ruach Nosson is Ruach Mashiach. Like it says Ruach Elikim the Ruach Mashiach. Menachem Al Pnei Hamayim. I know what Torah. The Yerushalmi. Ki Achidush Torah Shem Chadash Shem Yatzum Mechinas Mashiach. The Chidush Torah that a person Chadash. You said that Leif Toher Beroli Elikim Bina. Leif Maven means to understand. It's not my thought that the Chadash Torah. Because the Meli brings out the words of Torah Chidush which are Ruach Mashiach. Kisham Ruach Menachem because there the Ruach Mashiach Menachem Apnei Hamayim Apnei Hamayim Shel Torah. Behind the Ruach Tiv Ruach Malva. Ruach Tiv is Ruach of speech. Ruach that speaks to the Torah. Yamul Chazal. And the Gemara says, Ki Moshe Savo Maran Avur Kol Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu suffers Yisurim for the sake of all of Yisrael. Moshe Kosav V'hum B'chol Olam Sha'inu. But he suffers, he's sick because of our sins, to forgive for our sins. V'chein Kol Tzadik Hadoyru Gam Kein Seva Yisurim B'shil Kol Yisrael Hokam Elohim. Therefore, every Tzadik Hadoyr, who is the Bechina of Moshe Rabbeinu also, Moshe Mashiach, also suffers Yisurim for the sake of the Kol Yisrael to enlighten, to make it lighter for them, to take off the masa of the Avodas. Because it's Bechina Mashiach, Moshe Mashiach, therefore he too forgives for them. He suffers Yisurim for them. Because of the Zohar, because of the Chol B'Pshainu, and this posek there, because of this Abed Chol B'Ginayu. But Moshe Rabbeinu became, Chol means he became Chol, weekday. He gave up some Kedusha for the sake of the Jews. This is right, and it says there in reference to the fact that he was buried Chutz La'aretz, Chol of Chutz La'aretz, outside of Eretz Israel. Why? To forgive for the Dei HaMidbar. For their sake, he became Chol. He's buried b'Chol. This means that he suffers, he suffered for their sake. This is what we said in the beginning. The person should teach the words he learns in a language that he understands. Because by teaching it over so the tzadik who said it, if we can say it comes out of his words it comes from Chol. Because when a person teaches over his Lashon Ashkenaz, it becomes that a Chol in comparison compared to the great Kedusha of the words as they were said originally. According to how they came out of the Tzadik originally from his Gedol Malosoi, through this person teaching Lashon Chol, so the Tzadik who said it becomes Mechol. The Sabbath Chol becomes Chol. So this is the Bechina where the Tzaddik suffers in order to forgive for the sake of the Jews. But all this is because of our Shon. The reason we have to touch Lashon Chol, we who learn it now and touch it all, because of our Shon and our sins. Because of our Shon, we cannot be masik the words of the Tzaddik except the Chol. Therefore we have to touch it the Chol. The Yusuf Marin, but we touch the Chol, he suffers because of us, because his words become Chol. Great man, don't have to have this. Don't touch Lashon Chol. Him a seeking a dwelling for Yeshua Tzaddik. They are matching the words that they came out of the Tzaddik themselves. They can say exactly those same words. But for us, it's a big madrega, a big title for us to touch over the words Lashon Chol, because when we touch Lashon Chol, those words become Chol, which means that the Tzaddik is Sover Marin, and therefore it's a kafara for the Jews. So the Arizal said that the Likutey is for a person to learn and to teach it when he learns. By learning and teaching it, so it's the Tzaddik is Sover Marin, the Chaver of Yisrael, so the Arizal said it's a title for every one of the Jews if one person learns and teaches over the words B'derech Chol. Baruch Hashem. Good thing, man, I'm telling you, copy a test. When I bring the Gemara in Slovakia, as Chel b'Shabbos, one person comes out in the Chel on Shabbos, I'm a Chel Yisha Tedachim. Some person says, Chel Yisha Tedachim. It can be Nachmanis. What's Pshat? Menachem says, Ki Shodom Tzolach B'Rachmim. The person has to have Nachmanis from heaven. Emotionally sick, they have to have a cure. How can he get this Rachman? Hashem sends the person first Rachmanis, they should have Rachmanis on somebody else. He himself should have possessed the meaning of Rachmanis to have pity on others. Through this, they merely have pity on him, Menachem Mendel Schneerson. The person has pity on others, so merely have pity on him too. Also, the posek shows that Hashem gives you Rachman, that you can have Rachmanis on others. That's the Rachman Hashem. Midas Rachmanis totally b'das. Midas Rachmanis is dependent upon das. It's impossible to have Rachmanis without das. Mishi yesh le'deya yesh le'Rachmanis. One who has das has Rachmanis. Ki kas shehi Rachmanis hu machmas ksilas. Kas, which is the opposite of Rachmanis, is because of lack of das, because of ksilas, because of foolishness. Meshi kosev like the Pascalas kas b'chei ksilim yanuach. Where do you find kas in the chek of the fools? Yaakov and Arizal, everybody one says, call me shame by deya osla rachmolov. The person has no das, he now have rachmonis on him. Kim in by deya, aim by rachmonis. If he has no das, so he has no rachmonis. And therefore, it's forbidden to have pity on him, because only when a person has rachmon they get pity on him. He can't say yanuach. How can osla rachmolov? He call him rachmolov canal, because when can you have pity on him? He himself has pity. But if he had no pity there, it's forbidden to have pity on him. So, as a result, we see this chelo has to have rachman hashemayim. He first has to have pity on others, in order he should get pity from heaven. This told him das canal. This is dependent upon das. He cannot have pity until he has das first. The Shabbos is bechina das. The Shabbos is the bechina of das. Why? By the days of the week it says that by the moon the people shatu, they spread out and they gathered the moon. The Zaydik says b'shtusa, because it's supposed to say shatu b'shtusa, foolishness. And then that's during the 6 days of the week. Al b'Shabbos nimshach hadas b'kol echad. The Shabbos there was no shatu ha'om because there was das. So we see the Shabbos is the bechina of das. The Shemim on the Rakim HaCheles, what the Rakim say to the Chela, Yechele he sheterachem. Shabbos, Yechele das. Shabbos, the Shabbos, which is the Bechina of das, Yechele can make sheterachem that you should have Rachmanis. Loshenecha, speaking to the person, you. And sheterachem atol, that you should have Rachmanis. She'yeh v'charachma v'achayim. That you should have pity on others. Like they have das, sheyesh t'chol b'Bechina Shabbos. The das you receive from Shabbos, which is the Bechina of das, then it will help you that you should have rachmanis on others. The kivon sh'yeh macharachmim, as soon as you have rachmanis on others, as soon as you have das, then the shul will be das given to you. They'll have, as soon as you have rachmanis, there'll be rachmanis given to you from heaven. They'll have pity upon you from heaven. Because when a person has pity, the other rachman on him. So the Shabbos will give you the das. Once you have das, then you can have rachmanis. Once you have Rachmanis, the will be Rachman you from heaven. So he should tadachim. Shabbos can make it, you should have Rachmanis. And others than that will give you the full kanal. Baruch Hashem. Put them in Antayrik Kuf Chof. Ben also saying you must stick and say, well, tzadik loy tzadik. The reason why you have to go to see the tzadik himself. And it's not to learn a Sefei Musa, the words of the tzadik that are written, the Fedish B'Taylik, it's explained in the tzadik itself. Write this for to be remembered. There's a miskedas in the Sefer Torah, but Simbi Oznei Yeshua. And also speak, place it in the ears of Yeshua, speak to him. Although he told him to write it in the Sefer, still it wasn't enough, seeing it written in the Sefer. But Tzibah, he also told him to Simbi Oznei Yeshua. He doesn't tell him that. He should speak to him the Fedish Pelta. We see that the written sefer, the written word of the tzaddik, they have to see and hear from his mouth. The main thing is what you hear from the mouth of the tzaddik. Because of the Midrash, posek Shema Yisrael, here we're talking about the Yarden. Shema Yisrael, today you're going over the Yarden. Midrash says, why did he use the words now, Shema Yisrael? What's the mashal? What is it like? Melech of Mekadesh Malka with 2 diamonds. Of the Achas Mehen, she lost one. Hamelech, the king said to her, Ibadato Achas, Shimini Yisashniya. He lost one. Therefore, be very careful not to guard the second one. Watch for the second one. Tach, so too, Kiddush Kadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael, Benasa and Nishma. Hashem was Mekadesh the Jews with 2 diamonds, Nasa and Nishma. Nasa is the act, and Nishma is the hearing mipeh. Of the West Nasa, when they lost the Nasa because they made the Egel, he batted 10 Nasa. He lost Nasa. Shimru Nishma. Now be careful to watch the Nishma. Hoy Shema Yisrael. This is what he meant by saying Shema Yisrael. Watch the Shema. The Nishma you should be careful with, because that's what's left over. Ad Kala Shem Medish. Alking Shlomo Mitoch HaSefer Shel Bechinas Hasiyah Shel Bechinas Nasa, and the person learns from this Sefer, which is a Bechinah of Asiyah. Ksiva, writing is Asiyah. Which is a Bechinah of Nasa. Ein Bozeh Koyach Kol Kach Be'erei Say. There isn't that much koyach in it to arouse the person the Ered and Teshuva. Ki Yisrael Abdu Nasa, because the Nasa now lost its power. The Jews lost the Magolius of Nasa. Abba Keshemeh Tad Tzadik, when he hears the words of the Tzadik, the Bechinas Nishmo, the hearing that Magolius still have. This gives crowns to remain for the Jews. Therefore, it's more important to hear from the tzadik than to learn from the Sifrei Musa. Baruch Hashem. Kutem Teire Kuf Chaf Aleph. Be'ezaming the posek Oz Amarte Hinei Bosi Begila Sefer Kosov Olai. Begila Sefer written about me. Lassen Tzech Lekacha Fosti. I want to do your will, Hashem. The person sees and learns a Sefer. Every place that he sees and learns, he finds himself in the words of the Sefer. In this Musa, he finds himself. And the Shleikeach was by Musa, but I Prisusay, Beshef Musa, Becholokam, be the Sefer, Shubor, Umiainsham, that whenever Sefer Musa, he learns. So he looks deeply and he finds his own faults, his own shiflus, any place that he studies deeply. This is a simon, Shechopes, Lazar, Tzani's Borach. The fact that he looks to find his own faults there, to correct his own faults, it's a sign that he wants to do the will of Hashem. I see that this Megillah Sefer is written about me. I find myself in it. The simon that I want to do your will, Hashem. Why? Because the fact that I see myself in the Sefer, the reason I see it is because I want to do the will of Hashem. Hashem. Maran Teire Kuf Chav Beis. That means the posek Gam Netzach Yisrael Yishake. Netzach Yisrael means Hashem. Netzach Yisrael, the everlasting over the Jews. Yishake. There is no shake. And it also says Kiza Yadua is known, is a fact. Shemidas Hanitzochain Eino Sevelos Ha'emes. The midah of Nitzochain, which means stubbornness, cannot bear the truth. Those two are direct opposites. Where there is stubbornness, there cannot be emes. Ki af im yirevei einayim devar emes, because even if this person who has the midah of Nitzochain, even if he sees with his own eyes a thing which is emes, yitcha oisei machmas Nitzochain, because of his stubbornness, he'll push aside his emes. Because he is stubborn about a certain item, he'll refuse to accept it, even though he sees that it's true. So strong that he doesn't need Nitzochain, and it will push aside the emes. So where there is Nitzochain, there is automatically sheker. And this is very clear. The person who wants to see the truth will know this is very clear. That where there is Nitzochain, there cannot be emes. The person who doesn't see it because he has Nitzochain in this case too. So there is sheker again. The person who is emes and goes to Menachem Mendel will realize that where there is Nitzochain, stubbornness of any kind, and there must be a lack of emes. Like midas possible, midas kashkochu. But not like the midah of a person, the midah of Hashem. In this case, Hashem is entirely different. Even where there is Nitzochain by Hashem, still it's emes, which is completely different than by a person. By a person, it's impossible to have Nitzochain and emes together. By Hashem, where there is Nitzochain, there is dafka emes. There's no chadashom in the shaka by Hashem where there is Nitzochain. This is pshat in the posek. Netzach Yisrael Yishake. That by Hashem, with Netzach Yisrael, where there's Nitzochain, lo Yishake, still there's no shaka, because still Hashem lekechem emes, even midas Nitzochain. Baruch Hashem. Kutabanan Perikuf Chav Gimel. Then it also says, the Hayesod, Shaikel, told by the Iked, the foundation, the Yesod, which everything depends upon, is like Kasher, Atzma, Tarik, Shebedeh. Tie himself tightly, the Kesher, Amitzel, Chozok, the Tarik, Shebedeh, with Kabul, the one of our calls, Shayema, Kiruv. Whatever he says, to receive, to accept what he says. Whether it's small or big in his mind, he should accept it completely. Not to turn away Chazon's words right or left. Chumra or Makula at all. Arizal, still you should accept it. Whatever you think is Yamin or small, he says the opposite, accept what he says. To get rid of all the chachmas that he thinks he has. To set aside his mind completely, accept that which he receives in the tzadik and after that. There's long as there is any seichel of his own left within him, in a b'shleimus in a mikushel tzadik. You should know that he's not complete, he's not mikushel tzadik. Mainly the Yisrael, the Eis Kabbalah Hatayra, Hoyu Lahem Chachmas Kedelas. Yisrael, thank Moshe, has very great Chachmas, Ki Oz Hoyu Evne B'Dzora Shemehem. Those are the days when they had the Evne B'Dzora. So they had to Usam Al Pi Chachmas HaKiris Kedelas Kido. The Toys and B'Dzora was a tremendously great Chachmas HaKiris. The Mubei Shoyu Yisrael, Mashlich Me'atzman HaChachmas. Not to the fact that the Jews themselves threw away the Chachmas themselves, but Hoyu Kabbalah Hatayra, they wouldn't have been able to receive the Torah. Hoyu Yechel Likfa B'Kach Adishon, Kedashon Min Kaifa B'Kach. To atheists, nothing would have helped. Nothing that Moshe did could have helped them. They still wouldn't have helped. Nowadays too, we haven't got the miracle that they had then, but now they're also because of the to the shtus that remains from the Chachma. Ach Yisrael Am Kodesh, Ro'u Ha'emes Yishlichu HaChachmas, the Yisrael Am Kodesh, they saw the emes, they threw away the Chachmas that they had, they mean Hashem Meshadeh, they believed 100% only in Hashem Meshadeh, they threw away every bit of Chachma they had. By the Zekim HaTorah, this is how to see the Torah. And it's like Nukus, Am Novel Olech Chacham, like Nukus says, Am Od Kabilo Elaisa Olech Hakimu. But you see the Torah because they didn't have any Chachmas of their own. The main reason they have to see the Torah is because of Olech Hakimu. And then they shtichu mitem kol chalos kedom. It's then double. The shetayim is only based on this shulchan is a Torah. Double means in your Torah. That's what shetayim is only based on this, which is the quality of Torah. The real true chachma.